Unlike any other loop, it does not require variables to make a loop like this. So, to make a for loop, you do for in all lower cases, and then your variable name, but it doesn't have to, you don't have to define the variable first, and then in, and then you could use a string, so I'll say car, a colon, and then print x. And then it prints C-A-R. So what a for loop is for is it's used for iterating over a sequence. With the for loop, we can also execute a set of statements, one for each item in a list, tuple, or set. So in for loops, you can also use a break statement like the while loop. So how to do this is like, I could make a variable called tuple equals banana, mango, and pineapple. So now, if I do for x in tuple, print x, or and an if statement, if x equals mango, break. So what this does is tuple equals banana, mango, pineapple, and it says for x in tuple, print x, and it says if x equals mango, break. So if I click run, it'll print banana, mango, and it will not print pineapple. Whereas if I got rid of this and I clicked run, it'd print banana, mango, pineapple. Now, just like the while loop, you can use the continue statement. So if I did if x equals mango, continue. So now if I click run, it'll say banana, pineapple, but skip over mango. Now, there's also a range function, so you can print a sequence of numbers. So to do that, instead of for x in tuple, you could do x in range, and then 7 or 8, and then do print x, and then if you click run, it'll say 0 through 7, and it will not print the 8. And if I do like range to 100, it'll print all the numbers from 0 to 100, not including 100. You can also use a start parameter like 5, 10. So if I click run, it'll say all the numbers from 5 to 10, not including 10. So you can also add an incrementing value. So if I did 5 to 100, and then I added another number, so your first number is the first value in your range, the second number is the second value in your range, and the third number is incrementing which numbers. Now, you can also use the else function just like a while loop. So if I do else, and then print all numbers in increments of 5 from 5 to 100 have been printed, and then I click run, it'll say 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way to 95. All numbers in increments from 5 to 100 have been printed. And another note is that you can also not use the break statement if you want to use the else statement. And as I'll demonstrate that here. So if x equals 10, break. And if I click run, it'll just say 510 and will not print. You can also add like an inner loop or is what it's called a nested loop. So I can add an adjective to this. So I'll do adjective, and then a banana is curved, so I'll say curved. And then a mango is a tropical fruit, so I'll say tropical. And then I'll say pineapples are kind of spiky, so I'll say spiky. And if I delete this and I do 4x in adjective, then you do 4y in tuple, because if you use x, it'll change the value of the original x. And then do print x comma y, or y comma x in this case, and click run. It'll say bananas curved, mangoes curved, pineapples curved, bananas tropical, mango tropical, pineapple tropical, and banana spiky, and all those adjectives. Now, you can also use the pass statement just like an if loop. So if I wanted to test out the code and a for loop was empty, I could just do pass, click run, and you will not have a bug other than the form1 attribute error, since I deleted the class defining the form. Whereas if I delete the pass, it'll say syntax error, bad input. And that's it for this video on for loops, and in the next video I'll teach you guys how to use functions in Python. See you guys in the next video.